Like, comment, and subscribe for more content.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition, a holiday edition of a Funko Popcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's edition, we got a lot to talk about because we have 5 different segments for the podcast today. We got ourselves missed Funko Pops for November 2019. Then we got some unanswered questions, a segment that we haven't done in quite a bit, followed by the December 2019 Funko Pop announcements. Then we got 2 top 10 lists, as I described a couple podcasts ago. We got the top 10 list of December 2019 Funko Pops, following by a top 10 2020 wish list for Funko Pops that we may want, whether it's individual or sets, and then we'll talk about the characters within those sets. So, let's kick off with the missed Funko Pops. For November 29th, we have announced a 10-inch Eevee that is exclusive to Target, a silver chrome Goku and Flying Nimbus that is exclusive to Funimation. The final pop out of the 2 pops that were released on Black Friday for Pop in a Box, and it's the Ursula as Vanessa pop from The Little Mermaid. Then the last pop announced for November 29th is the glow-in-the-dark Weekend All Might that is exclusive to Box Lunch. Then for November 30th, announced and released that day, is a Frozen variant of the 6-inch Water Knock from Frozen that is also exclusive to Box Lunch. And all those are available now. 10-inch Eevee, obviously it's basically the same thing as the normal Eevee that we talked about on the last podcast, except that it's a 10-inch variant. And this one is available now, unlike the other Eevee that's coming out in March, I believe, or February, one of those 2. It's very simplistic, but that's basically all it needs to be. Goku and Flying Nimbus Silver Chrome Pop, it's alright. Like, you can see the detail of the pop itself because there was an original variant of this one. But once again, if you've listened to this podcast many of times, we've described our opinions on Chrome Pops overall. Ursula as Vanessa, I guess this is pretty cool. It's something other than your variants of Ariel. It was not what I was expecting for the Disney Pop for Pop in a Box exclusive. I don't really know what exactly I was expecting, just not this for sure. Then the Weekend All Might that's glow in the dark. The pop itself is awesome the way it looks, and I've seen photos of it glow in the dark, and it is phenomenal when it's glow in the dark. The hair glows, I think the eyes glow, and like parts of the outfit glows. Maybe the teeth glows too. I can't exactly remember, but I know that the glowing turns out very well. It seems like Box Lunch has been like killing it with these glow in the dark pops, especially that 6-inch Maleficent from last month. And then we got the Frozen variant of Water Knock. It's basically the same thing as the normal 6-inch Water Knock, except the fact that it has this like kind of frozen texture, like it's partially frozen, which you can see on like the hoofs, it's like white. It's not fully blue like the original one.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, with the 10-inch Eevee, it is just the 4-inch one. I don't know if I'll be picking this up. I don't really collect that many 10-inch pops. There are some that I'd like to get, but I don't know if any of the Pokemon ones will be ones that I will purchase. But it is a good pop nonetheless. And then the, what is this, Silver Chrome, I would assume?
Yeah.
Yes, the Silver Chrome Goku on the Flying Nimbus. It's actually not bad. It's one of the better Chrome Pops that I've seen just because how much detail there actually is with it still being a Chrome Pop. So that's not too bad. And then the Ursula as Vanessa is a cool one. I actually just recently watched The Little Mermaid for the first time. Like you were saying, it's a cool pop that you wouldn't really expect to get, and that's always great to see. And then you said this is Weekend All
Yeah,
Might?
Weekend All Might.
Okay.
And it glows in the dark.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that the hair's a glow-in-the-dark factor. It's a cool pop for sure. I actually really enjoyed this one. There's a lot of detail going on with the face. Like, there's like a lot of structure in the face. There's all those scratches. The eyes look really cool. And just the expression in general is really nice. The body kind of looks weird to me, but the head itself looks phenomenal. So I guess that kind of pulls the pop together. And then the Frozen one's the Frozen one. Don't really need to talk about it too much, I feel.
Moving on now to unanswered questions, which some of these have been sitting for a long time and we haven't really gotten to discuss about them. But I just wanted to wait until we had a bunch of unanswered questions instead of doing single ones on a bunch of podcasts. So starting off the first one, MD had asked, did the original John Wick Pop have a gun in his hand? And the answer is yes. The next one was one that I kind of asked because I was curious, was there ever a glow-in-the-dark WWE Funko Pop prior to Naomi? And the answer is no. Then the next one is one that MD was asking, what was the name of the ghost in the all-women's Ghostbusters that he has in his collection? And that is Gertrude Aldridge. Is the name. Yeah. And another one that both MD and I were very curious about is, who is Toonami Tom? The character's name is Tom. It's a character from a TV series called Toonami, which aired from 1997 to 2008 on the Cartoon Network, but revived in 2012 and continues today, but this time it is an Adult Swim TV show, which, for those that may not know, Adult Swim is the network that hosts Rick and Morty. And then one that wasn't really an unanswered question, but kind of was, we were figuring out when we were talking about the Gamer Pops, what was in Box F for the Gamer Pops. But I had actually listed down, there was a picture that was posted by, I think it was Disc Pops, of where each pop was in each box with their labels. So I'm going to list them off. So Box A would have contained the common Deadpool.
Okay.
Box B is the glow-in-the-dark Deadpool. Box C is the Chase Deadpool. Box D, common Groot. Box E is Chase Groot. Box F, which is what I almost had gotten instead of Box 3, is the common Miles Morales. Box 1 is the glow-in-the-dark Miles Morales. Box 2 is the Chase Miles Morales. And Box 3 is the glow-in-the-dark Groot.
Okay.
So that kind of answers all of our questions right there. So yeah, that's the end of unanswered questions. So now I guess we can start off now with the December 2019 Funko Pop announcements. Obviously, you'll see 9 photos in a collage. So starting off first, December 1st announced was a metallic variant of Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, in which that is available now at FYE since it's exclusive to there. Then the pop of a holiday variant of Tinkerbell that is a part of the 12 Days of Funko bundle, and that is obviously available now. Then we have some first appearance pops for Marvel. We have ourselves the first appearance Vulture and a first appearance Spider-Man. Then we have ourselves 4 variants of the mascot of Iron Maiden known as Eddie. All of these Eddie Pops are actually the versions of Eddie from the very first 4 Iron Maiden albums. So we have the self-titled album Iron Maiden variant of Eddie, Killer's Eddie, Number of the Beast Eddie, and Peace of Mind Eddie. And those are expected to be released as early as March 2020. And I should have mentioned about the first appearance Marvel Pops, February 2020 for those. Then from It Chapter 2, we have ourselves here a Meltdown variant of Pennywise, the Shopkeeper, Pennywise with no makeup, and we have a demonic Pennywise with the Funhouse Pop Town. After that, we have from the NBA lineup, it is Zion Williamson from the New Orleans Pelicans, which that is expected to be released as early as February 2020. Then, one that a lot of people were hyped about, 2 variants of Ice Cube, in which one is Ice Cube himself, and then Ice Cube with his 1960s Impala that is actually 3 wheels because it's a lowrider, and that's expected to be released as early as March 2020. Then, last but not least, what we're looking at is 2 variants of the Child, aka Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian. We have a 3.75 or 4-inch variant of him, and we got a 10-inch variant of the Child. The metallic Piccolo, I guess it looks pretty cool from what it looks like in a metallic form. Yeah, it's a pretty cool pop from what I'm seeing right here. The Tinkerbell, I'm not going to talk about at the moment until we get to actually all of the 12 Days of Funko Pops. Then the first appearance Marvel 80th Pops. Vulture is awesome. When I think of Vulture, I think of this Vulture. I don't think of like the Vulture that was in Spider-Man. I think it was Far From Homecoming. Homecoming was the first one with Tom Holland, with Michael Keaton as Vulture.
Yeah.
And the Spider-Man is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know how I feel about the black that's on it, just because I normally know Spider-Man as like red with the blue, just blue, and not just like the black that's added to his outfit. And I like the idea of like the webs coming out of the sides there. That's pretty cool. The Iron Maiden pops are wicked. All of them are wicked in detail. Especially even the Iron Maiden, like the very first album version of Eddie, like the detail in like the skin and the hair and especially the eyes. You don't see pupils all that often in Funko Pops, and it's awesome to see that, and mouths. So this is awesome. He's got this kind of like rocker outfit with like some Converse or Nikes or some sort of cool shoes. The Killer's Eddie is also cool. He's got this like axe, and he's got this like kind of what looks to be like, I don't know if it's a ripped shirt. Like it's ripped, but like is there a logo with that? I can't really tell. But the eyes are cool in that too, and I like the way the hair is, where it's like it's gray, but there's like some like blonde streaks going on with that. Number of the Beast, Eddie. So Number of the Beast is probably one of, if not the most popular album from Iron Maiden. It has songs such as Run of the Hills, Number of the Beast, and wow, I can't think of the other one that's very popular. But yeah, this is wicked. This is definitely my favorite out of the four. It's got the flame in his hand, and it's kind of a 2-for-1 because it comes with the little devil beside it, which is awesome. And especially the eyes are cool because it's kind of like flames like in his eyeballs as like the pupil, I guess. And then the Peace of Mind. I remember seeing this album cover. Peace of Mind, Eddie is awesome in detail, especially you got like the nail on his head and there's like blood coming down his forehead because of the nail. And especially he's in the stray jacket. They did really good on that. I think a lot of people wanted an Eddie variant. Maybe they'll make one as a Comic-Con exclusive. The Trooper Eddie, if you remember that.
Okay,
the
yeah.
album cover. Actually, the Trooper is on.
Where he has like the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Trooper is actually on the Peace of Mind album, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Which is probably why they didn't make it here. I'm sure Funko did not forget about the Trooper Eddie, because that is an iconic Eddie variant right there. The It Chapter 2 pops. I remember the scene with Pennywise, him being with no makeup. Then the shopkeeper, aka Stephen King, who plays it. Obviously, they'd add Stephen. This is almost like when Stan Lee gets some sort of cameo in Marvel movies. It's cool that they ended up. I don't know how many Stephen King books has Stephen King like appearances in them, because I never thought of that. I like the way his mouth looks on the non-face paint version with the little 2 teeth. And then obviously the Pop Town, especially the pop itself, is wicked with the way that they made the teeth. It looks very demonic just looking at it. And I thought we had seen the best of like Pennywise Funko Pops, and then I seen this. This looks wicked with the mouth. And then you got the Funhouse as a Pop Town, just some added cool stuff with that. Sweet. Wicked. Then going with Zion Williamson, I'm not going to say much about this. It's got the New Orleans jersey. The haircut looks pretty cool, actually. I like the way they did the haircut. The Ice Cube one is awesome. I didn't expect for them to make... Or actually, when they had released photos at Fun Days, they did show concept art variants of both of these. But I didn't expect the Impala Pop Rides to just look as good as it does. The detail is awesome. And I realize now the license plate says Ice Cube, which is pretty cool. Just both of these, like, you can tell from, especially the expression with the eyebrows, that it definitely looks like Ice Cube. And then the Child. I like the idea of making a 4-inch variant and a 10-inch variant, just for the fact that if you're making, like, the 4-inch variant, a lot of people will buy it. But if you have the 10-inch variant, it's almost like life-size. I had this idea I mentioned to one of my buddies that I might go to Comic-Con wearing a Mandalorian mask, like just the mask itself, because I don't want to like pay a bunch of money to just get like the full costume, and having the 10-inch Baby Yoda or the Child, so to speak, and just carrying it around, because then it's almost like life size. It's a cool idea. Obviously, they had to do the Child. It's basically one of the things that's kind of keeping the Mandalorian going for like most people, but I'm sure there's like some hardcore Star Wars fans that like they'll watch it regardless of whether Baby Yoda or the Child was a character in the show or not.
So I love these child pops. They both look good. I like how they're also not the exact same pop. With the 4-inch one, he's kind of has this like concerned look on his face, and with the 10-inch one, he kind of looks like he has more of a grin going on for him. So that's cool that there's a little bit of a difference between these pops. I'm definitely going to pick up both of them. I'm super excited for the 10-inch one. I mean, Mandalorian, if you haven't watched it, is great. I know that there's a lot of people who aren't even Star Wars fans who are loving it, and it's not even because of the child, which is cool to see. It's definitely great. I don't think they could have like hit the nail on the head any better with these pops than they did. The one thing that I was kind of thinking about though is that like you don't really see eyes like this with pops.
Yeah.
But I think that it was probably a good idea that they did it this way just because I feel like these are going to sell very well.
I'd feel it'd be super weird if you put normal pop eyes on Baby Yoda.
Exactly, that's the thing. So I am happy with the direction that they took this pop. And then we have the Ice Cube pops. I love the standalone Ice Cube actually. This is when I think of Ice Cube, that's kind of the Ice Cube that I picture in my mind. That's more of like the NWA era Ice Cube, even though the Impala 64 is really sweet. I'm not a huge fan of the bandana version of Ice Cube, but they're both great pops and I'll be picking both of them up. And then you have Zion Williamson. This is freaking awesome. When I was sent the photos for this, I actually didn't notice this in Funko's post. But this is wicked. I'm a pretty big fan of Zion because of my buddy Sky. This guy's just great. He played for, I can't remember what team he played for in college. But he's like a crazy good basketball player. Now he's in NBA and I think he'll make his mark. And then with the It Chapter 2 pops, normally when more Pennywise pops or It pops come out in general, I'm like, okay, we're not done with this. We're going to keep going with the It pops. But these ones are actually pretty nice. I do like the Funhouse. It is cool to see that there's a pop town for It. And then the other three pops also look really good as well, and I'm glad to see that they're making pops for those characters, which is cool. And then we have the Iron Maiden pops. These are all great. You went into detail with these, so I'm not going to go into too much detail besides saying that the eyes on these pops are wicked. We have new eyes that we haven't seen before, and that's always great to see, especially with the Number of the Beast flame eyes. That's just, you don't see like actual decals, I guess would be the thing. Like, you don't see stuff on the eyes ever. Sometimes there'll be like some lines or there'll be like different colors, but you don't see like actual objects on the eyes.
Yeah, the only thing closest we've seen other than just a solid color in an eye is like when they used to add like the bullseye in like
Yeah.
any like villain's eyes.
Or like Darth Maul.
Yeah, that's
with
where I
his.
was going with.
Yeah.
Darth Maul and like OG Joker.
Yeah, exactly. So these eyes are cool to see. And yeah, it's cool that you get the little devil with them too, with the Number of the Beast one. And then we have the first appearance of Falcon. Falcon? No, Vulture. Why did I say Falcon? And the Spider-Man. I do actually really like this Spider-Man. The black is a neat detail because it's definitely from his first appearances when they're in the comic books. That's how he was made. It's mostly for like shading. Like he's not actually like black entirely.
Yeah.
There's something with the head that's throwing me off. I don't know if it's just the lack of detail or something. But the head kind of throws it off. But the body, I think, looks really great with that Spider-Man. And then with the Vulture, it looks really amazing too. I'm glad to see that they did this version of the Vulture. The eyebrows look really cool. That's definitely one thing I'd point out, is that they're nice and bushy and the forehead wrinkles. The head itself looks really good. The body is kind of mediocre in my opinion. There's a lot of detail there, but it being solid green just kind of throws it all off for me a little bit. And then the Piccolo, I'm actually thinking about picking this one up. I don't actually know if I have any metallic pops. I do like how this looks in the metallic. I think it looks pretty cool. The colors go with each other very well, and being nice, bright, and metallic-y definitely makes this pop look pretty good.
So now moving on, we're going to talk about the Hot Topic exclusive Funko Pops that were announced for the month of December. And you know what? I would say about half of them are really good. There's not really like a bad or mediocre Hot Topic exclusives, I find. So starting off first, we got ourselves a flocked variant of Buckbeak from Harry Potter, followed by a Diamond Collection variant of Harlequin Demon from Nightmare Before Christmas, Hula Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, a grape-scented variant of the Icy Polar Bear, Krampus with the Child from Krampus, a Pop and Tea bundle of a glow-in-the-dark All Might from My Hero Academia, and last but not least, and I'm sure MD is going to talk about this quite a bit, is a Gizmo with Red Car Pop Rides. Buckbeak. The one thing I'm going to say is weird is that if you search the Buckbeak on the Funko app, the eyes are different. You got like these evil kind of eyes with the actual pop, but on the Funko app, the eyes are black, which I find
Huh.
very odd considering Buckbeak. I remember Buckbeak actually from Harry Potter. He's from the scene. Hagrid's like teaching a class, and I think it's in. I don't think it's like one of the. I think it's one of the beginning movies, like a Chamber of Secrets
it's like the
or
third
something.
movie, I think.
Or yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban. And like Buckbeak isn't like an evil bird. It's like a nice calm bird. The Harley Quinn demon, I guess it's all right. The green and orange kind of look weird on the body for when it's a diamond collection. I guess the eyes are kind of cool because like both the top and the bottom are kind of like closing, which is cool. Hula Stitch. A lot of people were requesting about this one because there already been a Hula Lilo that was Hot Topic exclusive, so it's cool they made a Stitch variant. Then we got the Icy Polar Bear that is grape and scented. Once again, I'm not going to talk about too much about this one until we get to the 12 Days of Christmas because there is another Icy Polar Bear that we got to talk about. But this one, I like the idea that it's not only an exclusive in a different flavor, that there's something added to it, and it's that it's scented, and it's rare that we get scented pops because I think the last time we got one was, I believe, San Diego Comic-Con from 2018, and it was a Masters of the Universe pop that was scented, but I don't remember what the scent was, which seems very odd. And some people may think, as they're listening to this, oh, what about the Stitch that's pineapple scented? That's a pocket pop, not an actual pop figure.
And then before that, I think the first ones we got were the strawberry shortcake
Strawberry
ones,
shortcake, and that was, I think, it.
Yeah.
So it's only like, this is technically the third pop that has scented. I'm definitely going to talk about some ups and downs with both the Icy Polar Bears when we get to the 12 Days of Christmas. Then the Krampus with Kid. I don't really know Krampus all that much, but it's cool that they pulled off like a little like kid version of a Funko Pop that's way smaller than even a Pocket Pop to add to this, with like eyes and eyebrows and hair. And the Krampus is very detailed. Then the Pop and Tea bundle. Obviously, like I think MD always says on the podcast, the box is the best part. It looks cool. I find the t-shirt to be like bland in my opinion. It says plus ultra, but maybe that's like a saying. I don't know. Definitely would have to hear from like a My Hero Academia fan to get their true opinion on this, on whether this is good or not. I guess it's cool that they're making a glow in the dark variant of this. Then the Gizmo Pop Rides. This is cool. This is one I would have never thought for some reason, even though it is actually a crucial part of Gremlins, is when Gizmo is driving the red car around the little toy store. And I love how like he's so like excited when he's driving the car. They captured his facial expression, and yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's not much to say with what's his name?
Buckbeak.
Buckbeak, yeah. I do remember this scene very well though, which is good because I'm not the hugest Harry Potter fan. There's not much to say. It's flocked. I mean, I'm curious now to see how the eyes end up turning out. If they'll be orange or if they'll be black.
They are orange.
They are orange?
Yeah, they are orange, but on the app it's black, which is weird.
Huh. That is weird. Maybe they just didn't know at the time when they made it for the app. And then with the Harley Quinn Demon, this is a thing that's been going on with the Diamond Collection for a while now, in my opinion, is that I feel like there's better characters that they could be making for the Diamond Collection, and they are just throwing, like, some weird curveballs at us for the Diamond Collection. So, it's a really weird character to have in the Diamond Collection, in my opinion, so I'm not super impressed with it. But it does look alright. Again, like you said, the green and the orange down at the bottom there. It kind of looks a little weird, but I'd have to see it in person to get a full opinion on it. Then the Hula Stitch is pretty cool. I actually don't have any Stitch Pops, and I've been meaning to pick some up. I really want the one where he's got like the guns and like the little costume on. You know, where he's got like the forearms or whatever.
Yeah.
I really want that one.
Is that just the standalone, or is that the one that comes with the Pop Rides?
I think it's just a standalone. It could come with the Pop Ride though. I'm not sure.
Possibly unanswered questions for the new year. Let's go.
Yeah. But this one, pretty cool. I could see a lot of people wanting this pop, and I mean, it's good that they got it now. Stitch is such a great character. I'd love to see many more Stitch pops because people would eat him up. He's great. And then the Icy Polar Bear. I'm super pumped about this pop. I know that, what's his name, Kenny? If you watch Top Pops and you know who Kenny is, I know that he's a fan of Icy's. So I'm sure he'll be buying this pop. I would imagine, at least. Yeah, scented, awesome. I want to see more scented pops, especially if there's a good scent to them, if they're not just like meh, or if they last like a week. let's say you take it out of the box and then boom, it's not scented anymore. So hopefully the scent is good on this. I mean, grape, that's pretty legit. And I think the pop looks pretty good. I mean, maybe they could have done it better. This gives me hope for maybe we'll see like a slush puppy pop, maybe. That'd be pretty cool.
Puppy.
Maybe do those scented too. Just an idea, Funko. You can have that one for free. And but yeah, I love this pop. It's great. I love ad icons, so it's good to see Icy getting one. That's one that I never would have thought of, especially because when we go to cons and we're buying pops a lot of the time, like we're enjoying Icies, and I never would have thought like, hey, I'm gonna pop for the Icy Bear.
And I was thinking the other day, like, only there is, like, more Icy stores, like, especially near us. I'd prefer an Icy over a Slurpee any day, in my opinion.
You know what? Icies are good, but I just don't find them as, like, satisfying for, like, quenching thirst. You know what I mean? Because they kind of have that, like, fluffy texture to them.
That's what I like about it.
They are good. They're a good treat. They're not an amazing drink.
Like, I find with Slurpees, you'll, like, drink halfway through, and all of a sudden, the rest is just ice, and you gotta wait a couple hours for it to melt. But with Icy, you can slurp it down without having, like, not having that problem.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful with your Slurpees and how you're drinking them. You can't be drinking all that syrup at the bottom. You gotta let it simmer a little bit.
Simmer down.
But yeah, great pop. And then the Krampus one, I mean, we've seen Krampus pops before. A few of them. There was like 4, I think, for the first set. There was like different color variants or whatever. I remember seeing them at Hot Topic all the time in like 2017. I think this one looks good, and like you said, there's like you get like that tiny little pop with it. I do remember the Krampus pops being a little bit bigger than your normal like 375 inch. So maybe it is kind of just like the same size as a Pocket Pop head for the kid.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm thinking. I don't think it'd be smaller. But lots of detail on this pop. I kind of want to know what the back looks like. If it's kind of just like plain on the back, or if they continue with a lot of good detail on the back there too. And then I actually disagree with you on this. Normally I think that the box is the best part of these t-shirts, like you said. I don't really like this box that much, but I actually really enjoy this t-shirt. It's simple, and I'm pretty sure Plus Ultra is like Super Saiyan. Like it's like a power-up.
Okay.
I'm not completely sure, but I'm
Gonna have to ask
pretty
Sean
sure
about that one.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Sean for sure. I also like that they have the Japanese writing above and below it, which I would assume also just says Plus Ultra. I think this shirt's really sweet. The pop, it's cool. You get the glow in the dark. The box, I think it's the worst box I've seen, in my opinion, for Pop Tea combos. That's actually not true. There was one that I seen in person recently, and I was like, ugh. But I can't remember what it was. But yeah, that box just doesn't do it for me. But the t-shirt, I think that t-shirt's freaking wicked. Then you got the gizmo in the car. I had literally just finished my Gremlins collection, besides the flocked variant of Gizmo, and I think there's a glow-in-the-dark Chase.
Yeah, that is super duper expensive.
Yeah, they're super expensive, so I don't even plan on getting those, because I don't see a point in having them. But I just finished my Gremlins collection by getting that FYE Pop Tea combo. The day before this pop was rumored, I was like, damn, we got another Gremlins pop. I'm so hyped. But the only thing is that this one looks weird. I mean, it's not your generic, like, Gremlin or, well, Gizmo, like, head. Like, the facial expression is great, but then the ring around the eye showing, like, his fur there, it's a good idea, but I feel like it's just a little inaccurate. And maybe at the top of the head, it looks like there's some white up there, but it also looks like the light is hitting it up there. So I'm excited to see this pop in person to see what I think about it. But if it would have been more accurate, I think this would have topped my list easy peasy. But it's just not completely doing it for me. That being said, you know I gotta get it.
So now moving on, we got, well, you guys will see 6 photos on your screen, but it will be 7 pops when we look at it. We have ourselves first announced on December 4th at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST. That's when it will be released. From the Fantastic Plastic lineup, we have Luthor, another Adam Sandler pop, actually 2 of them, Bobby Boucher from The Waterboy, a normal variant with a couple cups, and he's holding a cup of water with the flag of the football team. And then we have a Target exclusive variant of Bobby Boucher with his football gear and his helmet with the bucket of water. And those are expected to be released as early as March 2020, along with the next pop, which is the monster, that's what they're calling it, from A Quiet Place, which is the movie that is directed by John Krasinski, who is Jim Halpert in The Office. A specialty series variant of Alan Scott as Green Lantern, which is expected to be released as early as February 2020. Then a Pez exclusive Pez Girl with red hair was released on December 4th. And we got ourselves the contents, or I should say the pops that are a part of the holiday themed Marvel Collectors Corp, which we have ourselves holiday variants of Groot and Thor. The Fantastic Plastic Pop. I guess this is alright. It's not one of the best in my opinion. I think we've seen better Fantastic Plastic Pops, but I guess it's okay. Waterboy, definitely in my top 3 favorite Adam Sandler movies of all time. I like the football one better because him in his football gear is always the best moments, like when he gets very mad and then he just like tackles someone. Like, it's very awesome. I like how they made the hair kind of like curly because that's how it is in the movie. It's more curly, unlike the normal like way that Adam Sandler would look. Then The Quiet Place, MD had mentioned just before we started this, and I kind of agree that it looks like a ripoff of a Demogorgon from Stranger Things. And yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this, to be honest. Alan Scott as Green Lantern, I guess that's pretty cool. Got multiple colors. You got red, yellow, green, and purple. And the hair is pretty cool, and the lantern is also cool. Pez Girl, for some reason I kind of like this the best out of all 3 Pez Girls there are now. I just like the way the hair is. And even on the Pop Pez, it looks cool. I know that there's the brown hair one that I didn't really like, but then I did like the blonde hair one for like the dark blue attire. But I just like the way the colors are on this Pez Girl variant. I really like it. And then the Marvel Collectors Corp holiday themed pops. I know there was already, I'm pretty sure, a holiday Groot for the Marvel holiday lineup.
There's been a couple holiday Groots already.
Yeah. So I kind of find it weird that they make another one. I can't really, off the top of my head, remember what's so different about this one compared to the one they just released. And then I guess it's cool they made a holiday Thor. The hammer is wrapped up as it's a Christmas gift with Thor's name on the bow, which is cool, little detail. I guess realistically, that's the only thing that's really holiday themed about this Thor is just the wrapped Christmas present, which is essentially his hammer.
That's what I was thinking too with the Thors, that it's kind of like, okay, that's all you get with it to make it holiday themed. But I actually do like this one. I think it's funny as well. Like if Thor was giving away his hammer as a gift, like he's like, here's this gift, and he gives it to someone, and they just drop it right to the ground, right? Which I think is like a funny little joke, and I mean that's probably what Funko was trying to get at when they made this pop. I think it's a lot better than the Groot. This is the worst holiday Groot that we've seen. I think I actually have a holiday Groot. The Groot that I have,
Yeah, I think so.
and it's like a glittery holiday Groot, and that one I thought was a solid one. He's got like the planter looks better with it. This one's like actually this is kind of cute now that I look at it because his planter is inside of like a holder, like a stand for a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Which is cool because I don't think the original is like that. And then I mean you have an ornament of the what is it, Awesome mixtape or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
And then you have like Groot's badge on his head. But there's so much going on with this pop, and the Groot itself I don't think looks that great compared to the original ones. So yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of that. And what is this thing on the side there, that purple thing there?
I don't exactly know.
Looks like a rabbit or something.
I feel like it's something to do with the Guardians movies. Like it's some sort of like
Yeah.
the mixtape is a little Easter egg from the Guardians movie, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that other thing is there. And then I completely agree with you with the Pez Girl. This one is probably the best one. The box with this pop just looks great because the pop is obviously, it has that like blue and yellow colorway to it, and the box has that as well,
Yeah.
which looks really nice. But my favorite part about this pop is that we have a new sticker. I'm a huge sticker guy.
Yeah.
For collecting pops. And it's so cool to see. This is a nice looking sticker too. The Pez exclusive. Where do you get this? At a Pez store, or is it just like
Pez online for sure.
Okay.
People.
Or I was thinking like, can you get it at like candy shops? Like what's that one on Clifton Hill called?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sugar Mountain. Sugar Mountain. That's what it's called. Yeah. Like, could you get it there? That'd be sweet. But yeah, I plan on getting this pop for sure. I don't have any of the Pez ones yet, and this is going to be the one that I try to pick up for sure. And then the Alan Scott as the Green Lantern. When you sent me these photos, as I was skimming through, I'm like, oh, what's this new Robin? Because when you see it small, it's like completely like Robin's colorway, right? And then I was like, oh, it's Green Lantern. And I think this looks good. The colors go good together. And who is Alan Scott?
I have no idea.
I'm
I'm not
confused.
that into comics to know
Yeah,
the insides of
I'm
that.
definitely more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan, which I feel like a lot of people are.
Yeah.
But I do think this pop looks good. I do like the Green Lantern. It's cool. I'll probably pass on it, but it's cool like that we see in other specialty series that is a solid pop. They don't really make bad pops in my opinion. A Quiet Place one. This is just I'm gonna have to watch this movie, I think, just to see what this
Yeah,
monster
I still have to
is
see
exactly.
the movie, especially I think they announced actually like a couple days ago they're making a number 2
Oh,
of
okay.
this movie. So
Is it a movie? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, because this is a demodog. Like, like I don't understand how they can make something so similar to the character and be like, oh, look at this, it's brand new. We thought of this. No, you didn't. And then the Waterboy ones, these ones are great as well. I like you said with the curly hair, it's cool. Adam Sandler is a little Jewish boy, so it's cool that they got the super curly hair, which is super accurate. I can't decide which between the two I like better. It's tough. They're both really solid pops, but I'm kind of leaning towards the common. One of my like most memorable scenes from that for me is when he has the cups and he's like giving out the water. Obviously, he's a water boy.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see what the back looks like cuz clearly when
He's wearing
he's
a-
got to have the cooler.
Yeah, yeah. You can even see it like in between his legs, like hanging down a little bit there. And then we got Luther. Like you said, it's not the greatest for the Fantastic Plastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Even though the box I think actually says spastic plastic.
Yes,
On
I
the back,
actually I
on a lot of
remember
them now.
K-Dog and Fish. Shout out to those guys. I was watching something of theirs where I think they bought like someone's collection or something, and there was a Fantastic Plastic, and it said Spastic Plastic, and they were kind of like, "What? Why does it say that?" Because that's obviously not what they're trying to go with anymore. But yeah, Luther is all right, but it's definitely not the best. One thing I thought was weird is that if you look at the logo in the picture beside it, the hat isn't even the same color
Yeah,
as the
weird. I just
pop.
noticed that now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it was a mistake one way or the other, but which way, I don't know. Now that I look at it though, like even like the color on the eyes is black instead of being red. Maybe they just did that for the logo because it's just easier to do that way. But yeah, I don't know. It's not the greatest.
All right, so now moving on, you will see 9 pops on your screen when you're looking at the collage. So starting off first, announced on December the 5th, a 1997 version from the movie Batman and Robin, very controversial movie, of Batman. So essentially it's the George Clooney Batman that we have right here for the Batman 80 Years lineup. Followed by, announced on December the 6th, is the flocked Bullseye that's exclusive to Target. And I should have mentioned about the Batman. It will be released as early as January 2020. Announced the same day as the flocked Bullseye on December 6th, we have the flocked variant of Iceman. Obviously Funko Shop exclusive, so released that same day at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST. Then we got ourselves some more Season 4 Rick and Morty Funko Pops. As the list we have here, Rick with the Crystal Skull, the Auctioneer variant of Mr. Poopy Butthole, Spacesuit Rick with the Snake, Hospice Morty, and this one, unfortunately, I gotta bleep myself out for this one because it's called the King of with Sound Pop Deluxe, and we have a Spacesuit Morty with the Snake. And those are expected to be released as early as January 2020. Then, more Adam Sandler pops. We got ourselves the movie Billy Madison with 2 versions of Billy Madison, which I'll get to the one in a sec. Obviously, the one is a common variant, and the other is him with the lunch bag. That will be a Target variant. Then we have Billy Madison in the Bathtub Pop Deluxe. We have Danny McGrath, and we have the Penguin with the cocktail. And those are expected to be released as early as February 2020, along with the Happy Gilmore Pops, which we have Happy Gilmore, 2 variants of Chubbs. One is just him normally, and the Chase variant is him with a couple of broken wooden fingers. Happy Gilmore's caddy, Otto. And last but not least, we have a Bob Barker and Happy Gilmore 2-pack. Then last but not least, 2 variants of Vegeta powering up, a glow-in-the-dark version, and we have the Chase, which is a metallic version, in which both these are expected to be released as early as February 2020, and they are exclusive to Chalice Collectibles. 1997 Batman. It's funny because Batman and Robin is known to be not only the worst film in the Batman series, but the worst film of all time, considering that Rotten Tomatoes has actually rated this 11%. And as a kid, I always thought that this movie was my favorite Batman movie, considering that also this is the one that features Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Right.
But now I gotta watch this over again just to see, like, man, maybe this is a horrible film. But this Batman looks pretty cool with the way that they made the Bat logo and all, like, the armor pieces. Even it's got, like, I don't know if that's part of, yeah, that's part of the boots, the Bat logo. I thought it was, like, knee pads, like it was a wrestler or something. It even got white eyes also, so it stands out better than what black eyes would look like. The flocked Bullseye. I know a lot of people bought this and it sold out very quickly, not only on the Target website, but at stores itself. It's pretty cool from what I'm looking. The flocked Iceman. It looks very weird to me. And then the Rick and Morty pops. It is awesome that, once again I gotta bleep myself out, the King of Pop Deluxe also has sound. So obviously it's gonna make a bunch of farting noises and stuff, which I think is kind of funny. Other than that, I think we have seen all of these, actually. There's been 5 episodes of Rick and Morty for Season 4 so far, and I think they're taking a break and they're going to do the other 5 in the new year. And I think we've seen all these except for, I want to say I haven't seen Auctioneer, Mr. Poopy Butthole yet, and the Hospice Morty yet. But I think obviously maybe the best ones are either the Mr. Poopy Butthole or the King of Pop Deluxe. Billy Madison, such a great movie. It's my second favorite Adam Sandler movie because number 1 in my opinion is Happy Gilmore. But the best one in my opinion has to be the Billy Madison in the bathtub. It is such an iconic scene, and I love how they separated shampoo and conditioner by the colors and the way that they made the bubbles in the bath, and especially the swan. The swan has to be part of the bathtub because just part of that scene, it's an awesome scene. And Danny McGrath looks awesome with the lipstick. It's cool they did the penguin. The lunch bag variant of Billy Madison is also cool. I'm just thinking right now about the back to school song that he's singing while he's waiting for the bus. And a lot of people are hoping that they eventually make the Chris Farley bus driver as a pop for this set.
Pop ride even?
Oh, that would be awesome. I'd be down to get it, not only because it's an awesome scene, but because Chris Farley is my favorite actor of all time, so I have to get that. And I currently have all 2 Chris Farley pops. But yeah, then Happy Gilmore. I was hoping that they would make Happy Gilmore with the Boston Bruins jersey, and they did. Clearly they were able to do that because obviously with the license with NHL, they were able to get the Boston Bruins license. However, I kind of wish the golf club was the Golden Hockey Stick Golf Club because Chubbs made that for him. And with the Chubbs, the chase is good, but it's not good at the same time. If you are a huge fan of Happy Gilmore, you would understand that this makes sense as a chase. But if you're someone that's knows the movie but isn't super hardcore, you would hate this chase because you could essentially just cut off the 2 fingers of the common ones and just make it that way for the chases. And then Otto's awesome. And then my favorite of this set of Happy Gilmore is definitely the Bob Barker and Happy Gilmore 2-pack. This is the scene where they're fighting after they're losing a lot from the celebrity golf tournament. I love actually how they put a away jersey of Boston Bruins on Happy Gilmore. That's exactly how it is. And even Bob Barker's expression, he's got his one fist out. It's just awesome. This is a very iconic scene of Happy Gilmore, and I'm just happy they made that into pop form. Then we got ourselves the 2 variants of the powering up version of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. This is awesome. This is one of those pops, I think this is the first time I could say with a pop, it's kind of like looking at those DC and Marvel gamer boxes, where you look at these pops, and if you order it, if you get the chase, cool, but if you get the normal variant, it's awesome, because it's glow in the dark. It's 2 separate things. It's not like it's a super common pop and then there's the chase that's a little different. They are both the glow in the dark could have been a chase and they did a normal, or the metallic could have been the chase. It's whatever, but they do 2 separate pops that are different qualities. One's glow in the dark, one's metallic, and it's a win-win whether you get the chase or not.
Yeah.
Because this glow in the dark pop is wicked, and I'm already saying that this definitely is an early candidate for a top 50 list for 2020. And I love how I'm saying that, even though we haven't completed the top 50 list for 2019 yet. Which, stay tuned, because 2 weeks away from this release date of this podcast is the top 50 Funko Pops of 2019. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, these pops are wicked. These are some of my favorite Dragon Ball Z pops that Funko's made.
I agree with you completely with the fact that both of these pops are great. If you get the chase, that's cool. If you don't, sweet. You got a freaking glow-in-the-dark pop. And I feel with these is that, like, if you collect Dragon Ball Z, you're gonna want both of them. Normally, like you said, like, if there's a chase, like, it'd just be glow-in-the-dark. And, like, normally you don't see a chase where it's metallic instead of, like, normal or whatever. Like, you don't see metallic pops being the chase, right? So it's cool, and I think that, like, I want both of these. They're both really cool. I like them. For a collector's purpose, like, getting both of them is sweet. But also, if you're not a super collector of Dragon Ball Z or whatever, and you just want one of them, they're both pretty freaking cool. So yeah, that's wicked. And then the Happy Gilmore Pops, of course, are amazing. I do agree with you that the Bob Barker and the Happy Gilmore one, like, so cool. And yeah, like you said, with the away jersey, it's sweet that they did that instead of just doing 2 home jerseys for whatever reason, right? The Chubs is really cool. I feel like they could have done something else with the Chubs.
And I forgot to mention about the Happy Gil. A lot of people were wondering, and I'm kind of thinking the same thing, but maybe they're saving for a Comic-Con. Why wasn't there a Shooter McGavin pop in this set?
Yeah.
Because he is a crucial part of that movie. That is a sweet pop, especially if he comes with, like, the green jacket or gold jacket or whatever it is that the winning golfer gets.
Yeah, for sure. That I never even thought of that. Just the Happy Gilmore alone with the home jersey, I guess you'd say. That one, even just that is solid. Like, if I couldn't find the rest of the set, just having that one would be wicked. But I'll be getting all of them. And then the Billy Madison Target exclusive. It is cool. It's a great scene, but I might pass on that one just because I'm not at Target a whole lot. More recently, I've been going, but I don't know. I'll probably pass on that one and just stick with the common because I feel like they're pretty similar in a sense. The tub, that's amazing. I feel like with this movie, that's the most memorable scene from anybody. At work, we always talk about it, like having the battle between the shampoo and the conditioner. It's just so funny.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I make the hair silky and smooth. Yeah, yeah. Stop looking at me, Swan. That's why the Swan is a crucial part of this, because even that part alone, it cracks me up every time I watch that movie.
Yeah, such a great pop. I'm so happy that they did this. Even with the penguin, like, that's one character from this movie that I did not expect to see in the set. Like, they could have easily just gave us the Billy Madison and the Billy Madison in the tub, and it'd been like, sweet, Billy Madison pops. But they went above and beyond, and they gave us some cool characters in here. So this set is amazing. And then with the Rick and Morty ones, it's cool to see some more pops that have sounds. So this is cool. Of course, I'm not a huge fan of Rick and Morty, but I could just imagine that apparently this season seems like it's pretty good.
It's been a really good season compared to the other ones
Yeah.
so far.
And then, yeah, with the Iceman, I remember I seen it the morning that it came out, and then I happened to just see Dylan in the mall that day, and we were talking about it, and he's like, "Did you see that flocked Iceman?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, what the hell?" But I feel like the reason why it's flocked is because it kind of makes the texture of ice. Now you're probably saying, what texture? Like, ice is not furry. But what I'm saying is, let's say you go and you freeze some ice cubes in the freezer, and you take them out, because ice expands when it freezes, or water expands when it freezes. Yeah. It gets that, like, crackling effect on the inside, and I think that's kind of what they were trying to get at with this. Also, sometimes ice, like, let's say you go outside, I don't know where you're from, but right now, we got a lot of snow here in Canada. With the snow and the ice, it kind of gives that, like, furry texture. Like, you have the ice, and then snow kind of sticks on it, and then boom, you kind of have that sort of texture. So I think that's kind of what they were trying to get with it.
Maybe like a kind of a freezer burn effect?
Sort of, like freezer burn, yeah. And, I mean, everyone can kind of relate to that. So that's what I think they were trying to get at with it. But moving on, we got the flocked Bullseye. Now, I have some mixed opinions about this. The first opinion is, wow, I love this pop. The second opinion is, damn, I went to the States to get this pop, and it was sold out. So I'm upset with this pop because I don't have one yet, because I love it. It's a great pop. And then the George Clooney Batman. This is alright. Definitely not my favorite Batman movie. I've watched it. I have it on VHS, I'm pretty sure, somewhere. But my favorite is definitely... I always forget what it is. Batman Begins? Is that one the one with Poison Ivy?
The one with Poison... That's also in Batman and Robin.
Really?
Yeah. Poison Ivy is with Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah. They're kind of a team in the movie. That's in Batman and Robin.
You're right. Okay.
Batman Begins is the, like, Christian Bale Batman that
yeah.
has not Heath Ledger's Joker, because I know The Dark Knight Rises is the one. It's the
Okay,
second
I
one.
see. I had a couple Batmans mixed up together. When I
Yeah,
was thinking
maybe
of
there's Batman Forever, which that one is the one with Jim Carrey as Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
That's a solid Batman movie. But back onto the pop. It's alright. I don't remember him looking quite like that in the movie. Like, I don't remember him being, like, that blue. I know he was, like, a little bit more blue than black, but I don't remember it being like that.
Yeah, I don't remember it being so, like, armored. Moving on to the 12 Days of Funko, or 12 Days of Christmas Funko Bundle. The picture you'll see on your screen is actually all 12 pops, even though that 9 of them are brand new to us. But looking through this list, I'm looking at, so we got Holiday Tinkerbell, Hologram Rick Clone with the bucket of chicken, Drax with swords, the 10-inch Frankenberry, 2 variants of the Baseball Furies from the Warriors. One is green and one is red. The winter skin version of Ash from Overwatch, Pillsbury Doughboy with a Santa outfit and it's got a plate of cookies, Icy Polar Bear, a holiday Huckleberry Hound, a holiday variant of Scooby-Doo, and another fantastic plastic pop, it's Jingles. Holiday Tinkerbell. It's not the best. Of course, that's what the bell emoji meant, Tinkerbell. The hologram Rick clone. That's my favorite hologram Rick clone, is the one with the bucket of chicken, because the scene with that is a little bit funny. The Drax is actually better than I thought it was. When I first looked at it, it's like, but then I look at it more and it's like, it's not bad, but it's not something I'd pick up. The 10-inch Frankenberry, I don't really know about Frankenberry all that much, so I can't really be too hyped, but when they make 10-inch pops, they bring out so much detail than you'd rather see on a 4-inch pop, so I guess that's a cool factor. The Baseball Fury pops, okay. So I understand they made a red one and a green one because those are Christmas colors, but I don't feel like both of them should have been in this bundle, especially because when you're looking at the hints for the emojis, both of these cover the categories of running emoji, and the other was the baseball emoji.
Yeah.
And I hate how the same pop is covering the two. What I do differently with these, because I did look at the scene involving the Baseball Furies, I thought they were just making these because Christmas colors, but there are different color Baseball Fury base paints. There's a blue one, there's a red one, and there's a green one, and there's, I think, a half one where it's like half purple and half like orange.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of them. However, this is how I would have done it. Red would have been cool. I would have been fine with the red one for the holiday bundle, and I would have saved green for Emerald City Comic Con because it's a green color, so might as well give it to that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't like the idea of 2 Baseball Furies in the same bundle. Winter Skin Ash, like I've mentioned a bunch of times, I haven't really played Overwatch all that much, but the detail on the outfit is pretty cool from what I'm looking at. This was involving the hint with the cowboy hat. There it is on the pop itself. Now looking at the bottom row, Jingles. It's alright. I guess it's understandable they have their own Christmas variant of a Fantastic Plastic Pop, so Holiday Scooby-Doo. I like it, but I don't like it. Huckleberry Hound. Of course, there has to be a Huckleberry Hound. Brian Mariotti likes Huckleberry Hounds, and of course it has to be a holiday variant because they haven't done that yet. Icy Polar Bear, obviously the most hyped pop, practically the only pop that people want out of this 12 Days of Christmas bundle. So with the Icy Polar Bear, this is where I was going to get at when it was the grape variant for Hot Topic and this variant. Ups and downs for both of them. So starting off with, obviously, I'll talk about the grape one because it was talked about before. The up on that, it's grape scented. It's something different. It's not just you're buying one because it's got a grape icy. It's got a scent to it. The down for that is how long is that sticker going to last on that? I know Top Pops right now, he's doing a little bit of an experiment where he put the icy in a pop stack to see if he can preserve the smell of the sticker to see if it will last longer than what the sticker will be. Because I think those
Okay.
at max will only last a month. And then you got this variant, which the up for this is when you think of the icy polar bear and its logo, it's holding the cherry icy.
Yeah.
When you think about it, the down, obviously it's not scented, but at the same time I'm thinking if you had to go in the secondary market and buy this for like 50 Canadian, and then like the scented one is probably going to be sold for like 30 Canadian. But the thing is would you rather buy a variant for 50 Canadian and be like satisfied with it for all your life, or would you pay 30 Canadian for a sticker that the smell isn't going to last a long time? That's, I guess, the
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't really think of it that way.
But obviously, it would have been cool if they made the cherry one a scented one, because cherry is my favorite flavor for icy. Pillsbury Doughboy with the Santa suit. This was obviously for the chef emoji, in which there was also the pop culture variant of this box, which only included 11 pops, and they didn't have the Pillsbury Doughboy ad icon. And I think it's probably because of like the way the license is. Because I know with Pokemon, they're not allowed to sell Pokemon pops in the UK. There's a certain like licensing issue where they're not allowed to sell in the UK, and that might be the same thing with Pop Culture, which is an Australian version of the Funko Shop, where they're not allowed to sell that kind of ad icon in Australia. I guess it's all right from what I'm looking, but obviously like the OG one they released last year for, actually it was the 12 Days of Christmas on the Funko Shop when they were selling them 12 days in a row. That one is definitely the best one out of the three.
Like most people, I would assume, this box is very disappointing. I mean, when we got those hints, there was so much potential for this box to be just so great, but they really went with the Christmas theme on it. It makes sense. It's a Christmas box. But what's Christmas about the hologram Rick? Was that episode based on Christmas?
I don't think it was around Christmas.
So yeah, what's the point of that one? What's the point of the 10-inch Frankenberry?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes no sense to me to have most of them be Christmas and then some of them not be Christmas. The other thing, too, is that I love Christmas pops. They're great. But I feel like you don't need a whole bunch of Christmas pops. Like, I'd be happy with, like, 2 Christmas pops that I can take out of the box and display down like in the kitchen or like in your living room or whatever, like when you have family come over and they're like, oh, this is cool, like, oh yeah, I know you collect pops, this is cool that you got your Christmas ones out. I think that they should have kept the Holiday Rick, the Frankenberry, Jingles, Icy Bear, and like maybe like the Ash variant, it's like the winter themed one. I don't think they should have done so many, like the Scooby-Doo, the Huckleberry Hound, the Tinkerbell, and the Furies. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to do the 2 Christmas colors, and then it's Christmas. I'm choking up over here just because of how much I'm not happy with this. Like, I understand, like, the Drax is green and red, so we'll put Drax in there. And, like, I don't know, did we need another Pillsbury Doughboy in the Christmas suit? I mean, it's kind of cool. I like it a lot, but did we really need it? Like, if I would have spent the money on this box and I would have got it, I would have been so upset. Just because, like, do I need to spend this much money for a Huckleberry Hound with a Santa hat on and a... Like, these are ones where, like, you go into EB Games or Hot Topic or Walmart or somewhere and you're like, okay, these are going to sit on the shelf for a while and then they're going to go on clearance because they're just Christmas pops.
Yeah. All right, so now moving on. So you got 9 different pops on your screen. So starting off here, announced on December the 7th, we have part of the Pop Directors lineup. We have Patty Jenkins, which that's expected to be released as early as March 2020. A Pop and Tea combo involving a metallic Vegeta that is exclusive to Box Lunch and it's available now. Exclusive to FYE, announced on December the 8th, is Dwight Schrute as Hannibal, that's what I'm calling it, or Dwight with CPR mask from The Office, and it actually releases, as we record this podcast tomorrow, December 19th, but when we release this, it would have been yesterday, so realistically available now when you're listening to this podcast. Announced on December 9th and released that day at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST, is the flocked variant of the Coca-Cola Polar Bear. Announced that same day, a San Francisco Giants variant of an orange chrome C-3PO from Star Wars, which will release at the August 29th game for San Francisco Giants against the Kansas City Royals. Another Pop Directors Pop, it's Ava DuVernay, I think that's how it's pronounced, and that will be released as early as March 2020. announced on December 10th is a silver chrome variant of Natsu from Fairy Tail, which that is a Funimation exclusive and it's available now. December 11th at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST was released a Jackalope from the Pop Myths lineup. That's a Funko Shop exclusive. And I feel like one that MD might talk about because he did rate one of the variants as a number 1 on a past top 10 list. It is the Smokey the Bear with Bucket. That's a Funko Shop exclusive released on December 12th at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST. Patty Jenkins, which I don't remember. I remember one of these when searching up were directors for the Wonder Woman movies, and I think one of them is directing the new one that's coming out, which I forget what it's called, like Wonder Woman 84 or something like that. Can't remember the name, but
1984.
Yeah, it's all right, I guess. Just a normal human pop. It doesn't really get too much detailed. The metallic Vegeta. This almost looks like that over 9,000 Vegeta, except it doesn't have the, I guess, I don't know what it was in his hand that he crushed during the over 9,000 variant. The shirt looks cool, actually, and the box. I do like the shirt on this one a lot. Dwight as Hannibal. I have some like gripe about this. I wish the head was kind of tilted up because that's kind of like what he's doing during that scene. He's trying to scare everyone. His head's kind of tilted up. I kind of don't like how his hands are just by its side, like it's a 2012 Funko Pop where everyone is just hands to the sides. But the mask is pretty cool, and I feel as if the masks should be a little lighter than what the color is showing. Overall, obviously, I'm going to get this because I want to get every Dwight Pop and probably all of the Office Pops. The flocked variant of the Coca-Cola Bear. Probably 50% of the comments involving the original Coca-Cola Bear was that we should get a flocked variant. This one did sell out, but it didn't sell out for, I think, 4.5 hours on the Funko Shop, which is actually, like, surprising for this kind of Funko Pop. But it's still cool that they did make a flocked variant of this pop. The orange C-3PO, I find it kind of weird. Obviously, you can see in the glam shot, it's Star Wars Day, so clearly they're celebrating Star Wars Day, and they're just doing some sort of C-3PO for this event. But obviously, the orange is for the San Francisco Giants colors. The other pop director, I don't know who she is, never heard of her. Her shirt says Array, which I don't really know what that stands for. And that's the same with the Silver Chrome Natsu. Nothing is really going on except you can kind of see the detail of the outfit and like the hair and whatever it's in his hand. Jackalope, I've never heard of Jackalope before, like ever. So
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard of a Jackalope, which is weird to me. It kind of looks like it's a deer mixed with like a bunny, so to speak, or a rabbit or something like that. I guess it's all right. And then Smokey the Bear. The detail on this, I guess it's all right. I don't know what to say is the best Smokey the Bear. I know you're a bigger fan of this than I am, so I pretty much would give the floor to you on this one.
This is not my favorite Smokey the Bear. I like the flocked one, obviously, in my opinion, is the one to get. This is alright, but I feel like, did this even sell out on the Funko app, or on the Funko Shop?
As far as I know, I don't think it has yet.
Yeah, see, I didn't think so. There's no real point in getting this one with the other ones kind of being better. I really like the Jackalope. I love the Myths line. Pretty sure a Jackalope, it's a hare and an antelope.
Ah, okay.
Right? So yeah, I think he's cute. He looks good. I don't know, there's actually quite a bit of detail on this pop for just being what it is, right? So, it's solid. The Chrome Pop, Chrome Pops. I'm gonna get both the directors done in one go. It's kind of weird that they did these directors because, like, I feel like there's a couple directors that they could still do, like, that are more famous than these ones, right? So it's kind of weird that they went with these ones, but it makes sense with the new Wonder Woman movie coming out that they would have her be one. It'll probably sell better, especially when the movie's out. C-3PO, is this one of those pops that they just give away?
Yeah, when you go to the game.
So weird. Like, it makes sense because it's Star Wars Day and all, but how many people, like, are just gonna be like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, this is weird.
Like, how many people actually know about Funko and all that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just super weird. Like, I could see, like, people being more happy with what they normally do, where they give you, like, a player from that team, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they could have just done, like, a version of C-3PO and gave it away at, like, Funko HQ or something for Star Wars Day. And then I feel like people would have been like, okay, this is sweet. Whereas I just don't think people are going to be super hyped over it. Like, I mean, you go to a baseball game and you get something for free. That's cool. But a C-3PO pop vinyl, like especially being this color. Like some hardcore fans of, let's say, Star Wars or of the Giants are going to be like, oh, this is sweet. And then the flocked Coca-Cola bear, awesome pop. Hopefully I can get it eventually at a con of some sort. I feel like I'll probably pass on the common now that I can't find one because they sold out of them at Hot Topic. I feel like I'll just get this one instead of the common. And then the Dwight, yeah, I feel the same way as you, where the mask should be a little lighter. It kind of looks like he just has silly putty all over his face,
Yeah.
kind of. It's a cool pop. Obviously, it's a great scene from The Office, but it just looks a little weird to me, being that color. And then the Vegeta, I actually think it's the exact same pop as the Wave whatever of Dragon Ball Z, where they started doing like the poses
Yeah.
with the figures instead of just.
It's not like the very first Vegeta where it has that, what is it, like the thing across
It's a
it?
scouter.
Yeah, the scouter.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same as the one where he's posed, where like you had that Goku posed one. I think there was like a Piccolo posed one, and Vegeta and a couple others in the set, but they were like more posed than just like straightforward standing up pops. I think it's the same, except you said this one's metallic.
Yeah.
Yeah. The box is kind of cool how you have like the eyepiece of the scouter like around Vegeta and like it shows like his power levels or whatever. And the t-shirt itself is alright. It's an alright t-shirt. I like it, but it's not as good as the My Hero Academia one in my opinion, which is weird because I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball.
Alrighty, so now on your screen will be the last set of Funko Pops for December 2019 that we'll be talking about. If we miss any from, I would assume, the 19th till the either 20th or the 23rd, we'll talk about that on the second podcast for 2020. So the week after the top 50 list, which will be January 10th, I believe, off the top of my head. That's when we'll talk about it. But anyways, so starting off first, these pops were announced between December 13th up until today when we record this, which is December the 18th. So starting off with the Morton Salt Girl from Morton, and that'll be released as early as March 2020. A flocked variant of Hello Kitty exclusive to Target, which that is available now. Funko Shop exclusive Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, which that was a 2-pack bundle, so 2 separate pops made into a bundle because it's recreating, I'll mention it actually in a bit, a metallic version of Red from Pirates of the Caribbean that is a Disney Parks exclusive, which that's available now. A metallic variant of Batmite, which that's exclusive to Box Lunch, and it's unknown of when it's actually getting released as we record this. For the Drag Queens lineup, it's Adore Delano, which will be a Hot Topic exclusive, and it's unknown of when that's going to be released because this was added to the Funko app without even Hot Topic or Funko announcing it on their social media pages prior. Then we have a set of Ultraman Funko Pops, in which this list we have Ultraman Ace, Ultraman Jack, Father of Ultra, Kenjion, or I don't know how to exactly pronounce that, and Alien Baltan, which those are currently first to market exclusives to Barnes & Noble until New Year's Day when they are becoming a common. For the Ad Icons lineup, we have from Starkist, we have Charlie the Tuna, which is a Funko Shop exclusive, which was released today, 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST, and the last ever set of Funko Pops we'll talk about in the year of 2019, and I say this is a pretty decent way to end 2019, is new variants of Tupac, which we have one variant in overalls, and he's got like a hat on, and that's going to be an FYE exclusive, and we have a common variant of him with his bandana and his black clothing. The Morton Salt Girl, I've never really heard this. I guess it's cool that it's got like the little salt shaker and there's salt going down, and there's even like showing like a little bit of crystals to show it's like more of like a rock type, even though it's not a rock, but I don't know, you know what I mean. And it's got this umbrella, which I guess is also cool, and the eyes are pretty much closed, and they actually show that with like the little line below. The flocked Hello Kitty, so if anyone's realizing, there was the flocked Hello Kitty in the collector's box that's exclusive to Amazon. But this one is different because it's got the red bow on her head, and the Amazon version is one with the pink bow. That's the only difference, but it is the same Hello Kitty pop. The Looney Tunes 2-pack bundle. These are some cool pops. When you think of Looney Tunes and you think of some of the most iconic scenes, the scene with Wile E. Coyote chasing Roadrunner around is one of those scenes, in my opinion. I like the way Roadrunner looks because it's got like the tongue out and like the body in that. I felt like though with Roadrunner, the body should have like expanded more longer and the neck should have been like more higher and more diagonal instead of the way it looks. But other than that, the color looks very nice. It's basically exactly what it looks like. The Wile E. Coyote, the glam shot is basically spot on of what he looks like, but I feel in the actual photos of the Funko Pops in person, both brown colors are a little bit lighter than it should. That's my only like gripe about those. But these sold out in less than 5 minutes on the Funko shop. The metallic red, it's got some pretty cool detail with the outfit, and he's even got like the gun in that. And I like how there's a little like skull on her hat, and it's like pop form, skull and bones, which is pretty cool. The Batmite, it's clearly the same thing as the common variant, which is available now, except you can tell from the silver and I guess the other colors that it's like metallic, which, I'm not really a big fan of. Adore Delano, which I've never really like heard of until I see this. I guess like the outfit is okay. The hair is very detailed because it's like braided, and I realize now that like on the knuckles it's tattooed meow like a cat, and she's wearing a pizza necklace, which I guess that's pretty cool. Then the Ultraman pops. My favorites actually out of this are like the ones that aren't like the Ultraman or Father of Ultra. Like the two bottom ones are my favorites. I like this kind of zipper mouth it looks like for the one character.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just cool. It's like very different from the top three. I can't remember all their names. The Charlie the Tuna, it's pretty cool for what it is. I like the way they made the eyes and the glasses, and especially the mouth. Once again, very rare for pops to have mouths, so it's cool like for this pop to have a mouth. And the Tupac pops, both of them are cool in their own ways. I like the FYE exclusive for the fact that it's got like these overalls and it says Thug Life, and he's holding up like West Side, like hand gesture, and even like the hat is pretty cool. But I like the common also because of the fact that like when you look at it, it's like, yeah, that's Tupac just by looking at it, and I like his outfit.
Yeah, I definitely like the common a lot better because it's kind of just more of how you think of Tupac rather than the beanie, I guess, on. I do like the FYE exclusive one. It is pretty cool. I do like the white sneakers, and the overalls look cool. Then with the Star-Kissed Charlie Tuna, I love this pop. I love ad icons. This one's just really cool. It's straightforward, and sometimes that's all it needs to be. It's an easy character to turn into a pop, too, which is cool. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say with this besides that the pose is done really well. It's identical to the logo, which is sweet. Then with the Ultraman ones, I agree with everything you said there. The zipper mouth one looks really cool. I think I might pick up that pop just to like have that pop, maybe even take it out of the box because that's just cool in general. And then with what you said, she was like a drag queen.
Yeah.
This is all right. I mean, it's definitely not what you think of when you think of drag queens. But I do like the hands, and I didn't notice the pizza necklace either until you were mentioning it. And I even zoomed in to like look at the hands and the outfit, and I just completely passed over that pizza. But I do think there's a lot of detail going on with this pop. It's solid. Batmite, I'm kind of disappointed with this just because I don't think we needed a metallic version of the Batmite. I think it might sell decently though because the original Batmite was pretty hyped. So it might sell alright, but besides that, I don't think there's a point. And then the Disney exclusive Red, this is solid. I do enjoy the skull and crossbones being popified on the hat. Damn, if you look at that torso, there's a lot of cool detail on there that looks good, too. It's not just like a bunch of detail that looks all mashed up together. It's like pretty solid. I don't know if when we see the actual pop, if it'll look that well. Like, there's a lot of different paint colors going on there. And then we have the 2-pack of the Looney Tunes, Wile E. Coyote, and the Roadrunner. Now, this is funny because when they were doing that 12 Days of Christmas hint and there was the running emoji, I was like, let's see Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Another new pop for my Looney Tunes collection. And then it didn't happen, of course. But we got this 2-pack, which is even better. I'm glad to see these two characters in a 2-pack. Because...
2-pack bundle.
Oh.
It's a 2-pack bundle.
I didn't even realize that.
So
I
it's
just
two
completely...
separate. So it's two separate pops. That's the same with the Flintstones. Two separate pops, but they put it in a bundle, and especially this because it makes sense from the scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Wile E. Coyote chasing the Roadrunner. One thing that I just wish with the Wile E. Coyote is that instead of giving him that card, they gave him like the TNT like detonator or like a barrel of like explosives or whatever. But the card's cool. I'm super pumped for this. I hope that there's not like, because what did you say, it sold out in like how long? 5 minutes?
It's 4.5 minutes, I'm pretty sure, the official time.
4.5 minutes. Yeah, this would probably be like what, $70 probably to get both of these at like a con.
I don't know.
70 Canadian probably. Depending. I really want this. Then the Hello Kitty. I still haven't got a Hello Kitty pop, and I do plan on it. Might end up getting a flocked one. Maybe it'll be this one because it's Target exclusive. That's alright. And then the Morton Girl. I do like this pop. The salt falling down the way it is, I think it could have been done a little bit better. To me, what it looks like is like a pack of Lysol wipes, and like one of the Lysol wipes is like hanging out the back of the thing because it's solid and it's salt. And even if you look at the logo, like it's just salt falling out. It's not like one steady stream. It's just like sprinkling out, kind of, right? So that's the only gripe I have with this pop, but I do think it's a solid pop, and I'll probably get it to add to the ad icons.
So now we are moving on to the first set of top 10 lists that we will be doing, and that is the top 10 December 2019 Funko Pop list. The last one of 2019. Obviously, like usual, we're going to start off with MD Shady and his number 10 pick.
So with my number 10 is an ad icon, and that is Charlie Tuna. I think this pop is done very well. I think it's simple, but that's what it needs to be.
So number 10 on my list, and it was kind of changed last minute. This was like on my list, and then it was off my list, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put it on my list. And that is the Ice Cube with Impala Pop Rides. Now, why I added this is mainly because of the car. I don't think we've ever had a lowrider Funko Pop before, so it's cool that we're getting one now, and it makes sense for someone like Ice Cube or anyone along that lines. Hopefully, maybe they'll make another lowrider in the future. Eddie Guerrero. It's got a lot of good detail. A lot of people were hyped. Not so much of my personal reaction, but those two kind of took the cake for why this is on the list. So, Ice Cube Pop Rides at number 10. Shady's number 9. Let's go.
My number 9 is also Ice Cube, but the standalone pop, not the ride. I think that this standalone pop is probably going to go under the radar a little bit because of the rides coming with the Impala 64. If you're a fan of NWA or even the Straight Outta Compton movie, you know that the Impala 64 is a pretty important piece of that movie, or just the band in general. I guess you could call them a band. NWA is a
group.
A group, I guess would be a better way to say that. But I do like the standalone Ice Cube a little bit better. It's what I think of when I think of Ice Cube, besides, are we there yet? But yeah, I think it's a solid pop, and I think it's not necessarily the better way to go, but it's a cheaper version if you want a cool Ice Cube pop in your collection.
My number 9 is the Target exclusive Bobby Boucher. Because the common is the devil. No, but the Target exclusive Bobby Boucher is awesome. I love this scene. Very awesome. Gear is very colorful. But yeah, that is why number 9 is Bobby Boucher. Detail, hype, a little bit of personal reaction. MD's number 8.
My number 8 is the Number of the Beast version of Eddie from Iron Maiden. I feel like this is the best one, mostly because of the eyes and also getting the little devil figure with it. I don't think it has the greatest hair out of all of them, but the overall pop, I think, is the best out of the 4.
My number 8 is the Funko Shop exclusive Roadrunner. I think this is a very awesome pop. Everyone knows about Roadrunner and how all he says is beep, beep, something like that. And I think the detail is a little off just because of what I prefer it as, is like more of a longer body and a longer and more diagonal neck for Roadrunner. And maybe if like the feet were kind of a circle base because of how the feet kind of go like that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Maybe just a little bit more detail, but obviously the hype was there. I would say like maybe my personal reaction was like a little bit up on this, but not so much. That's why Roadrunner is number 8 on my list. So going to number 7.
My number 7 is Tupac. And of course, I already explained which one I like better. That is the common Tupac. I feel like this is like the best Tupac we've seen. Like, I feel like if you're going to get a Tupac, don't spend the money on the expensive ones. Get this new common Tupac.
Yeah.
And that's basically why it made the list at number 7.
My number 7 is the Chalice Collectibles exclusive Power Up Vegeta, the glow-in-the-dark variant. I love this pop because My personal reaction was up mainly because of how it looked in detail, not so much because of like the show itself, but just like the way it looks. Especially, I've already seen photos of what the glam shot looks like glow in the dark. The hair glows in the dark. I think the eyes do. And then there's like you might have seen it in the photo, you might not, but there's like a little base behind the photo. The base glows in the dark also, and that's just very cool. I like when Funko makes more than one thing on a pop glow in the dark. It is awesome when they do that. Definitely that's why it's at number 7. Number 6.
So my number 6 is the flocked Bullseye Target exclusive. I wanted the original so much, and I could never get it, and it's getting up there in price. It's not super cheap, but I don't think it's super expensive either. But now there's a flocked one, and I think the flocked one is probably going to be better than the common one. Well, the first one, I wouldn't say common because it's an exclusive. But now we have a flocked one, and I think it's great. And it was just a hair, no pun intended, away from making it to number 5.
Number 6 for me, I honestly thought for some reason the way you were anticipating it, I thought we were going to have the same one. Because mine's also a flocked figure, but mine is the Funko Shop exclusive flocked Coca-Cola bear. Now, a lot of people were very hyped overall for this pop, considering that they wanted this when the original one was announced, and just the added detail of it, of being a furry kind of figure, is also cool. My personal reaction, it was like, yeah, cool, they're making a flocked figure, but I feel like also at the same time, with the hype, so to speak, is that not a lot of people were so excited at this point because, you know, they could have like customized it to make a flocked, or they were just satisfied with the normal one to begin with. They didn't want to fork the extra money to get it shipped and even to pay an arm and a leg in the secondary market for it. So, and now number 5, let's kick the music. Booker T's theme song. Can you dig it, sucker? It's probably gonna be so off from the actual song itself when I edit this. But anyways, MD Shady's number 5.
My number 5 is Wile E. Coyote. I like this one better than I like the Roadrunner, kind of because of what you said, where it's kind of like it could have been better if the legs were spinning. His neck kind of probably should have been longer. He should have been taller than Wile E. Coyote, right? And he's not. With Wile E. Coyote's ears, I'm pretty sure it makes him a little bit taller. And if I'm not mistaken, Roadrunner was taller than Wile E. Coyote. I love this Wile E. Coyote figure. I love the Looney Tunes set, so seeing Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner is great, but I just think the Wile E. Coyote is a little bit better for what it is. So it made it to number 5.
My number 5 is the Funko Shop exclusive Icy Polar Bear. Now, a lot of hype for everyone on this pop because everyone's been waiting for this pop for a while. It's very good in detail for what it is. Obviously, cherry is my favorite flavor of icy, like I've mentioned before. And I just think it's a very cool pop, and a lot of people are going to want to get this one. So that's why it's at number 5. Let's move on to number 4.
So my number 4, Gizmo in the Car. Great pop. I love it. I'm a huge mark for the Gremlins. This is, again, like you said, it's just something that I didn't even think about when thinking about Gremlins pops. I'm thinking about Gremlins too. I'm thinking, like, the Bat Gremlin. Let's see the Spider Gremlin. Let's see all these Gremlins. I never thought, let's see a pop rides of Gizmo in the Car. Awesome.
My number 4 is the Bob Barker and Happy Gilmore 2-pack. This was such a good scene. Let me rephrase that. Great scene in Happy Gilmore. And it's cool that they added Bob Barker to this Happy Gilmore lineup because they could have done someone like a Shooter McGavin, but they made this scene, and I'm glad they did this scene. Overall, the detail on Bob Barker himself, and you got the Happy Gilmore just ready to fight. It's awesome. Now going on to MD's number 3.
My number 3 is the Hot Topic exclusive Grape Icy Bear. I like this one better because, 1, it's cheaper. 2, it's scented, even though it might not last. You're still going to smell that good grape deliciousness at some point, right? I feel like I prefer grape flavors over cherry flavors most of the time. Depends what it is. But it's mostly because of the cheaper value and the scented fact of this. And it's an ad icon. I love those ad icons.
Alright, so number 3 for me, it is, I think, our first crossover. And that is the Number of the Beast Eddie.
I thought so.
This one, wow. Like, just overall, the Iron Maiden pops turned out better than what I thought they were going to be. And just the overall detail is amazing, especially with the eyes. Yes, maybe the hair should have been a little bit different. But the fact that it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal, especially with the little beast, because that actually is like a part of the album cover, it's awesome. Essentially, little details and the overall hype from everyone, and my personal reaction through the roof. All 3 categories. Boom. Top 3. Right there. Let's go with MD's number 2.
So my number 2 is one that I actually expect to be your number 1. Is Billy Madison in the Tub. Such a great pop. It captures the scene so well. For not being like a pop where there's a lot of different colors going on with it, they managed to put a lot of detail in this pop. It just makes me want to go wash my hair.
With both shampoo and conditioner.
Oh, of course.
Alright, so my number 2 is also Billy Madison in the bathtub.
Oh, okay.
This is the first time, actually, in a while that we've had the same pop and the same number.
I don't think we've ever had number 2 matchup, have we?
We've never had a number 2 match, but we did in July have a number 6 matchup. Or no, June. Mr. Pricklepants. I don't even know if I should say anything, because you basically spot on. It brings out all the details that it should. That Swan is just amazing in that scene. Super hyped about it personally, and I'm sure that that's probably going to be the number 1 selling Adam Sandler pop, in my opinion. So now, going to number 1.
Now, I wonder if we have the same number 1. We might. We might have the same number 1. My number 1 is the flocked Hello Kitty.
No, it's not.
You're right, it is not. It's the 10-inch child. There's gotta be so much hype for this. The child is the booming thing on the internet right now. Mandalorian is great. 10-inch pops are sweet. I like this one better. The facial expression's better. There's a lot more detail. It's life-size if you're thinking Baby Yoda child-wise. It's just a great pop, and I think it really deserved to be number 1 because I think it will sell like hotcakes. What's your number 1?
My number 1? Oh, geez, there's just so many options. I'm just have to go with the Silver Chrome Natsu from Fairy Tail.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a really good pop.
No, but it's also the 10-inch child.
Okay, that's pretty sweet.
I actually, when I was thinking about trying to, like, guess different top 10s, like, I was thinking, like, what if for some reason, like, you had said that your number 1 was the 4-inch child, but then I said mine was the 10-inch, but it was, like, the same pop but different size. That would have been weird.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of surprised you said the 10-inch, but not. They kind of do have different facial expressions. I feel the 4-inch is like not as good as the 10-inch because you can't really see like kind of like the scale details like in the head.
Yeah.
Unlike the 10-inch. The 10-inch is like happy and smiling, and it looks like it's sad in the 4-inch one. And I feel when you look at Baby Yoda, you want Baby Yoda to be happy. It looks adorable when it's happy. And that's why 10-inch the child is number 1 on the top 10 list for December. At first I'm thinking, damn, that's the end of the podcast, but we still have another top 10 list to go.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. That's what is top 10 wish list for 2020. We're just going to go one at a time, starting with MD, and he's going to go through all the lists. There's no specific order for this list. It's just going to be basically what you had thought of off the top of it. Mine was kind of in order, but not really. Starting off with MD's, I guess, 10 wish lists.
Okay, so I'll do number 10, I guess I would say. That's Lil Yachty, the rapper.
Okay.
Now, I feel like there's a lot of detail going on with Lil Yachty. I mean, he's got this red hair that everyone loves. He calls it like cherry hair. Sometimes he refers it to like being the same color as a cherry. He also has like these beads in his hair. The hair would look really cool. Lil Yachty's a pretty big rapper. A lot of people love him. Some people do hate him. I personally love him. He's one of my favorite rappers of the newer generation of rap, which isn't quite as good as what it can be. And I think a pop version of him would be sweet. Now, number 9 and 8, they both go together in the Add Icons category, and that is first Mr. Peanut from Planters Peanuts.
Planters Peanut, that's a good one.
That is a good one, eh?
Yeah.
I thought about that, and I was like, damn, that would be sweet, especially like with the monocle on and the top hat. Let's see it. That's a freaking wicked
Just
pop.
when I thought there wasn't any Funko Pops left to buy my mom, that's one I might have to buy my mom. It's because,
yeah,
like, if you've been in my place, there's a big Planters peanut, like, jar on top of our fridge.
Yeah, my dad had that too.
Yeah, so.
The other one is, and this one just came right off the top of my head, and that is Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, that's a good one. I honestly thought, like, That was actually one of my guesses for the chef emoji for the 12 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Chef Boyardee I think would be freaking wicked. Now, I guess I'll go to another ad icon, and that would be the Kinder Surprise Egg. I don't know if it has an actual name. If you're a big fan of Kinder, you know that there's like this mascot. Actually, nowadays with Kinder, they've been putting like these little toys in their eggs that are actually like there's a girl version and there's a guy version, but originally there was only the guy, and basically it's a Kinder egg, and he just has arms and legs and eyes, and he's got this red hat. I'm a huge fan of Kinder. I think it'd be a great pop. Let's see it happen. That'd be so sweet. So I think that's all I have for ad icons, except for this full set, which I guess would technically be ad icons, and that is a McDonald's set. That would include Ronald McDonald, Grimace, Hamburglar, Birdie, and Mayor McCheese. I think those are like 5 perfect candidates. I left out the Fry Guys because they're not as popular as they used to be, and those 5 would be better ones to see in the set. Now moving on is Trailer Park Boys. I feel like there's an obvious 5 that you'd have to pick, and that's Ricky, Julian, Bubbles, Randy, and Mr. Leahy. So I think that'd be wicked. I don't know if we'll ever see that happen.
I'm hoping for a Green Bastard Chase or exclusive variant of Bubbles.
So then moving on, this is one that I know people have been wanting for years. I'm talking Nintendo as a franchise. The 5 pops that I would include in this list would be Mario, Link, Kirby, Donkey Kong, and Star Fox. I got 3 sets left. Now I'll start off with Seinfeld. This is something that I would love to see, and the 5 characters that I picked from this are Jerry Seinfeld, Elaine, George Costanza, Cosmo Kramer, and Newman. Now, originally I had written down the Soup Nazi, but I feel like Newman is more of a reoccurring character. And then I have Small Soldiers, but my 5 are Major Chip Hazard, Archer, Insaniac, Ocula, and Freakenstein. And now, my most wanted set is That 70s Show. Now, first wave, I feel would include all 6 of the original, like the main character kids, but if they did a second wave, it would be Bob, Kitty, Red, and Leo, who is played by Tommy Chong.
So now my 2020 wish list. So first off, a show that actually we watched as kids. Sweet Life of Zach and Cody / Sweet Life on Deck Pops. Obviously, Zach and Cody, whether they are separate or you can do 2 packs of them. A London Tipton Pop Deluxe. You can have her with like her closet and like her clothes and maybe even a mirror.
I thought you were gonna say Pop Town with the Tipton.
I'm gonna get to that in a sec because it's Mr. Mosby.
I knew it.
Mr. Mosby and the Tipton Hotel Pop Town. The last one, just to see if Funko would attempt to put the full name of Esteban. Having an Esteban pop and see if they can attempt to put Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de la Rosa Ramirez on the box, because that would be nuts. The next 2 actually technically are from the Pop Rocks lineup. One is a new Ozzy Osbourne pop. So I have actually 5 variants of Ozzy Osbourne that they could do. Current version of Ozzy Osbourne, like an updated one, not like the expensive one that is like $300 Canadian now. Blizzard of Oz variant from the cover where he's wearing like the white outfit with the cross and he's got the tassels. Diary of a Madman variant where he's kind of dirty and he's got like ripped clothes. Bark at the Moon version with a Flocked exclusive. Yes. And a No More Tears variant of him with like the wings. And the next Pop Rocks, Green Day. So for Green Day, separate pops of Billy Joe Armstrong, Mike Dirnt, and Trey Cool. A Dookie 3-pack, so all of them with like the multicolor hair, like Billy Joe would have blue hair, Mike Dirnt would have blonde hair, but Trey would have his green hair. Then adding to like what would be the 3rd most popular Green Day album of all time, 21st Century Breakdown with the Bunny mascot. 35th anniversary Back to the Future set. Biff Tannen, because that's definitely my most requested Funko Pop for Back to the Future that I really want. A Lorraine and George McFly 2-pack. Doc Brown with the time-traveling train pop rides. A pop movie moments of Biff Tannen, the car being covered in manure. And the last one is Marty Jr. This next one is my only ad icons. It is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The next one is All Elite Wrestling Funko Pops. They've done New Japan. They obviously have WWE, but these 5 I definitely think would be the easiest 5 to pick from if AEW were to choose from. So number 1 is a blonde version of Cody Rhodes. John Moxley, Dustin Rhodes, Chris Jericho, because they can pull off a new Chris Jericho, maybe one with a little bit of the bubbly, or with them with the title, or with the title, but they can do a Chase variant of his Painmaker gear. And then the last one would be a 2-pack of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Yes.
That would be awesome. The next one, it's Morty Jr. from Rick and Morty. Next one, WWE Funko Pops, narrowed it down to 5. So obviously number 1, American Badass Undertaker Pop Rides, Velveteen Dream, the 3 Faces of Foley 3-pack, Edge and Christian 2-pack, and then my most requested women's wrestler pop, and that is Lita, which I don't know why they haven't made a Lita pop yet. Then 25th anniversary set of Toy Story Funko Pops. I would love to see a new Zurg plus a glow-in-the-dark Chase, because Zurg does glow in the dark, and that would be awesome. Lotso, a strawberry scented exclusive. Stinky Pete, a Pizza Planet Pop Town that would include maybe Sid. And then last but not least, pop movie moments of Woody and Buzz hanging off of the U-Haul. And then my number 1 is obviously one that you mentioned. It's Small Soldiers. My number 1 requested Funko Pops. I probably say it almost every other episode that I want Small Soldiers Funko Pops. So I wrote a Major Chip Hazard with either an exclusive or Chase variant of like his face half blown off. Archer, obviously. The Commando Elites in a 5-pack. And then I wrote Gorgonites because I forgot like the majority of the names. But I wouldn't put them in a 6 or 5-pack because they all can be various sizes. So there's no point.
Yeah.
Because some of them could be 6 inches. Some of them could be just normal 4-inch. A Pop Rides. And it's Alan on his bicycle. And you can have Brick Bazooka hanging off of the bike chain trying to get at Archer. That would be cool. Yeah. That is my wish list for 2020. Thank you to everyone who had listened to this podcast. This is actually the last podcast of 2019, as in 2 weeks from today's release date, it will be January 3rd, and it will be the first podcast as we go weekly, and it will be the top 50 Funko Pops of 2019, and it's going to be a great episode. And then we're going to go weekly from there every Friday. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at a Funko Popcast. Thank you to everyone for watching, and hope to see you guys in 2020. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Peace in, peace out.